Welcome everyone to the Inspire Keynote 2024. I am Nina and I will be your host for today. And it's with great pleasure to have you all here with us today in Köln, and of course for those joining us online. Today is an extraordinary day in the history of Inspire, as we are launching a new product that will change the industry and the way enterprises are managing transformation and architecture. But before we dive in, let's start a short video about Inspire.
In a world that moves at the speed of light, enterprises face constant challenges. Lack of collaboration, disconnected data, and no end-to-end overview. Imagine a solution that transforms these challenges into opportunities, turning complexity into clarity, and clarity into value. Enter UDesign, a revolutionary solution exclusively designed for you. The ideator, the transformation manager, the architect. Imagine an infinite canvas where your data and interdependencies come alive, transforming your most complex challenges into powerful visual narratives, supercharging your productivity. Discover a secure and scalable space where teams collaborate in real time. Easily visualize any use case and collaborate with the right people at the right time. All while the data keeps in sync with reality automatically. Focus on what's relevant, blend out distractions, and uncover new opportunities in a sea of complexity. UDesign empowers you to design the future, understand the impact, and make better decisions for your company, your customers, your career. You design your future by Inspire.
And now is the time to get our two co-founders on stage. Please give them a warm welcome.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. This has been a crazy journey of 8.5 years. We're very excited to be here today.
And Klaus, to be precise, it's day 3086 since we created and incepted Inspire and went into operations 1st of August 2015. This evening is a very special, it's basically a holiday really for us. We are very excited. So, and at that time, in 2015, we had a fantastic idea to change the market.
That's true. But actually, the idea came back in 2015 on Jamaica. Don't ask me for the story how we ended up there, but we did. And we had the idea of creating a solution to merge enterprise architecture with operational IT.
And it wasn't just an idea, it was an urgent need. Our customers had at that time. So the biggest problem we have seen and what you have been asking for is, you said, we are done with integrating our EA solution with other sources like PPM, CMDB, and so on. So we have been practitioners. We turned into the architect of the architecture tool, spending 50% and more just, managing the architecture tool and can't focus, on the needs of our business, of our enterprise to do real enterprise architecture. So with that said, we want to change the world. We want to solve your challenges you have. And for that, we have done something extraordinarily awesome.
Strangely enough, that was exactly at the same time where ServiceNow launched the ServiceNow store. Talk about coincidence. And that actually enabled us to find a way where we could create the idea and the vision that we had. But it wasn't just that. Kadi and I started up in 2015, and funny enough, we actually didn't start as a software company to begin with. We were actually advisors of enterprise architecture. So the very first job we got, now remember, vision of Jamaica, ServiceNow launched in the store, and the number one job we got from a Finnish company was to assess the enterprise architecture market. They literally paid us for that. So we did a job, assessed all the different vendors that was there, and in the end they said, is that it? Is that really it? Is there nothing else out there? So we said, well, to be honest, we have an idea. There's this new platform called ServiceNow. We had an idea maybe we could build the enterprise architecture capability on that. 2 days later, the business unit owner there called me back and said, I'll buy it. I said, well hold on. I said, we have an idea. We don't even have a line of code. And he said, I don't care. I know you guys. I love the vision because I'm done with integration as well. I will not pay the bill for the current EA vendor I have, right? But okay, he said, 3 months, then I want to have a solution. So that's exactly when I looked at Kadi and said, buddy, we got to create this, right? So the very first job we got was actually to create the very first product we had, which was the UPMX. Funny enough, we can see over time as well that ServiceNow as a platform caught up. They suddenly saw the idea, and 2 years later, after we had created the UPMX, they started to replicate and have some of the same tables as we had created originally. Now, some could call it competition. I call it, that just shows we were in exactly the right place.
It's part of our vision at Inspire. You know, those people, of course, who are here, they know that. You know, one of our mission is as well to mature the EA market. And I think introducing UPMX, at that time, look, in 2015, nobody knew, the architects didn't know ServiceNow. ServiceNow didn't know enterprise architecture at all. So we are really the pioneers. So the Inspire La Familia was the pioneers introducing something unique on the market. And there are still people outside there who do not understand the value really. But we said, doing UPMX, portfolio management, is just one piece of the cake. The other piece of the cake is modeling and diagramming. So therefore, in 2017, we launched the Designer application, which is so unique that still no other vendor has a solution like this. What the Designer was able to do is the uniqueness that it has direct access to operational live data. So imagine your blood pressure, you know, or I don't know, what is it? All your parameters, your heat and so on is measured. And if there is a critical change, it's reporting it directly to a solution, which can say, look, if the blood pressure is too high, there may be a problem in your body. So imagine the same analogy in the enterprise. If the data is coming a day later, it's too late. So Designer is the only solution on the market which can tell you, hey, there was a server outage. There is an incident reported by somebody worldwide. And then that's getting rolled up on the processes so you can see what processes are impacted in real time or your business capabilities. In the end, you can make much, much better decisions. And imagine what happened with COVID, the pandemic, and all the other things which are going on today. The world is fast-pacing, and you have to have the right solutions in place to track those critical KPIs and measures. Together with UPMX and Designer, we had a breakthrough on the market, and we are very proud what we have achieved until now. But that's not the end, right, Klaus?
No, it's just the beginning. We came to a point actually where we had launched the UPMX and the Designer, and it was going good. But we had some requirements as well from some of our key customers that said, look, we need to be able to manage relationships in ServiceNow much, much better. I have a problem because I have smart people, but they're not IT people, they're not IT savvy, but they need to be able to do this job, and they can't do it with the standard functionality of the ServiceNow platform. So we looked at each other and said, kind of agree, it is kind of clunky. So I said, can't we do that better? We said we can actually. So we made a very, very simple drag and drop UI application called Free Lucy to basically manage relationships. And then we looked at each other and said, you know what? Why don't we just give it to the community? Let's just give it away. We're already pretty successful with the 2 other products. It's not all about the money. It's about doing the right things for the right reasons. So Free Lucy is exactly that. It's free. It's all about the values, really, that we instill. And Kanye will call it the spiritual journey. So he's a religious person, which is cool. I'm not. But I will go in and vouch for anything. Maybe there is something, then I have at least someone on the other side who says, yeah, okay, that guy's okay.
But we pass, right?
Oh, maybe. But we share some of the same values. Look, it's not about the buck. Money is an enabler for us, right? You need money because everyone wants to have a salary. Everyone wants to live well. That's great. And we want to do something with that. But ultimately, without putting it too high, it's really about making things better, making a better world.
Look, the products and so on, that's really awesome, and we are proud of that. But I think that's just the side of the coin which the customer sees. They don't see the tears, they don't see the fears, they don't see what we have risked those years. I think hopefully tomorrow we will make a nice interview and talk a little bit really how we created the company and show really the human side. So, and we have 2 experts here, we will introduce them later. We are very proud to have them here today. But the things, we are so different with Klaus, and what ties us together is the humanity. It is the human aspect of what we do. So the products are the things you see in the website, in the application store of ServiceNow. But there is a lot of work and thinking about that. Look, first of all, creating an application on ServiceNow, we have been one of the first applications in the ServiceNow store. And years after years, you see as well what happened with COVID, right? So COVID completely disrupted the industry. So we had other peers in the industry who made success stories about, hey, with COVID, we changed our operating model to virtual setup. We said, well, that's not really innovation. Since the first day we created Inspire, we had a virtual setup because we are looking 5 years ahead. We're looking 10 years ahead. And this is, I think, what entrepreneurs need to do. We're just not here standing as businessmen. We are really entrepreneurs. We are analyzing the market. We are talking to you. We are understanding your issues, your challenges. But we want to identify as well the problems you may have in 5 to 10 or 25 years. And the solutions we are creating should respond to that. So we are extremely proud that in 2022, we got the award being one of the top 100 innovators. In fact, we belong to the top 10, which nobody knows, to the top 10 innovators.
They know now.
It's really great to see the recognition from the industry as well, like becoming a top employer, and we are fantastic people. We do not see them as employees. We see them really. We are part of the team. We really love you as a human being. Your smile, the conversations we have. I think that is really what makes us drive. We're coming from a corporate environment. The corporates, we learned a lot from there. Look, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. But I think the gang we built here is just outstanding. So thanks hanging out with us.
And wouldn't you know it, in 2023, we actually got nominated again, which is completely awesome. So 2 years in a row, we've been in the top 100 innovator for Germany. And suddenly, we appear in the Financial Times. We were actually one of the top 1,000 fastest growing companies of Europe as a whole. That's pretty cool. We were actually if I recall right, number 490. So we could have changed it a little bit and made it top 500, but it's okay. We keep the top 1,000. It is still cool. And we also basically were the growth champions in 2023. It was really one of the first times you suddenly got this public recognition for what we were doing. Because Sometimes you are just in your little bubble in the company. You remember that, guys, from Atos and from Bayer and other places we worked. We didn't really know what was going outside until we stepped outside and found out we might complain about a lot of things, but we did a lot of good things as well.
So let's have a look into 2024. So what's going on now? We are not allowed to say that, but I have the feeling 1st of February this year, we may be nominated or getting an award the third time as a top innovator, but I don't think we are allowed to say that. It's just a fictional thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea. Okay, 2024 is the year of the dragon, but again, we will not be spiritual, so we will focus on the products. So trust me, we will disrupt the market again, because with everything we'll learn together with you, listening to your requirements, and see what's going on now in the market. You know, the pandemic had a big impact on us, on the enterprises. I think the new technologies, the AI, and all the new technologies which are coming this year and the next couple of years will have a change. So, considering all those changes and everything, listening to you, and trying to solve your challenges, we said we need to come up with a new solution. So we need to get rid of technical debt. We need to rethink everything we have done based on the experiences and your requirements. And I said, we need to create a new solution, which we call UDesign. So, we have prepared a little trailer about UDesign, so let's have a look into that. So this is just one example of what you can do with the new shapes and UDesign. So there is basically no limitation. It's an infinite canvas you will have available, so you can bring anything into life. So it's an outstanding solution. Okay, so let's have a little bit more into the details about what UDesign brings. So we asked you about the last couple of years and said, what is the most important thing you need in a solution like we are providing? And you basically said there are three things. So first of all, it's the simplicity, the user experience. The second thing is the collaborative aspect, because remember, pandemic, virtual setup, globalization, people are around the world. I think with the 40 plus people we have, they're in 13 different countries, right? So, and talking different languages. And the third thing is governance. You know, all those requirements are not really harmonized and, you know, is just on one dimension. It's a multi-dimensional problem you're bringing us. And we said, okay, let's respond to that. The usability and simplicity we are tackling with a modern user experience and the UI. So it is really boiled down. And, you know, we are dealing now with a completely new generation. You know, like my kids, they are using technology completely different. We have to recognize that. It's not, again, the old guys like us, you know, using the traditional tools.
Hold on. It's not that bad.
The young and old guys, right?
Experienced guy.
The experienced guy, yes. It's a different way how we think and work. The new generation is much, much different, and we have to recognize that and come up with solutions which respond basically across gender and cross generations. That is a very big aspect we brought in. So therefore, we created a completely new architecture. So everything we built, we didn't reuse a single line of code. We didn't use or reuse a single image of the existing solutions we have. We started completely from scratch. And that was essential for us after those 3,086 days or the 8.5 years, we were working on. We said, we need something different here because we hit the limits of ServiceNow. It's a fantastic platform, but for those things we want to do, it's not the perfect conditions platform from a database perspective and so on. So, but our development team, and kudos to them, they came up with a fantastic architecture where we have high performance, a multi-language solution, which we can directly feed with AI, connect to AI, and have, all those things you need. So the shape libraries, we are pretty proud, and this was really the trailer. So it doesn't matter if you do IT architecture, business process modeling, value chain management, KPIs, whatever, you will find all those nice shapes directly, and you can go in and draw your different scenarios and architecture. So to respond on collaboration is not just, making a Teams meeting. It is the real-time collaboration, editing data simultaneously. But that collaboration and usability, I think, what we have learned from you as well is what you have expecting. You do not want to change the view. You don't want to go into a dashboard, then into a report, then click on a list view, and then go into a form view to edit data. What we understood from the market need is you want to have an infinite canvas, one board, where you can put everything on it for all the stakeholders, for a specific project, initiative, architecture, whatever you want to do, and then collaborate together with that. And this is exactly what we have built. Which brings us to the next step, which is then the governance. The governance is, look, we want to be collaborative, we want to share everything, but, and the but is exactly, there are some people we don't want to show it. We don't want to share all the information to everyone at the same time, so we have to segregate the data. We want to isolate the data. We want to give marketing only the data they are allowed to see. They should only see their applications and processes and capabilities they're using. We want to give IT only those value streams and chains they need to do to manage IT end-to-end with an organization, and they should not get access to the financial data. This is what we have built and we call team spaces. So team spaces is the superior concept we will bring in UDesign. You configure that and say, here, those are the people who have access to it. You can slice down the data. You can slice down and define, those are the shapes, the industry notations, like they should do BPMN modeling. Archimate, nobody wants to do Archimate anyway. So, but AWS, Google Cloud, right? So you will define that, and that's basically it. And then people can join, edit, plan their future state, and just work on that. So another way we have changing the experience is the way how you use visualizations. Everything is drag and drop. You want to create a hierarchy map. The team space will allow you to see only marketing apps, all the capabilities. You will just drag them in, and you can keep adding data you want to visualize in those different visualizations step by step. And here's the thing. You have one board. It consists of your dashboard, your visualizations, your list view, your form view, so you can go in, edit missing data. You will see what data is missing, everything in a canvas, and then share it with people and say, look, Klaus, I have created a bot for our next investment round, changing our IT stack with the new capabilities for a new market. Have a look, send him in a presentation mode. He can go make annotations, add the missing information, and then share it with the rest of the team. Completely on a secure platform on your instance of ServiceNow. That's what we call UDesign. Thanks very much. So with that said, it's a pleasure to invite a very good friend and our VP of Products and Services, Frederick Burman, to give you more details.
Thanks, Kadir. So, before 2019, I was working as an IT management consultant. Some former colleagues, former customers actually, are here today. I was working mainly in EA tooling implementation projects actually. So I was very familiar with the challenges that come with implementing an EA tool or improving the maturity of an EA practice. Now, as it was, I was working with Kadir and Klaus in various constellations in that job, and for some reason we kind of liked each other. I don't know how that happened. And you know, we kind of started talking about that vision that they had, you know, building that EA tool. And that kind of, you know, in that context that I just mentioned, got me excited. And at the end of 2019, we met in Cologne, and finally the time was ripe, and I decided to join the guys. And 1st of January 2020, I joined Inspire, and it has been a wild ride and a lot of fun ever since. So I couldn't be more happy to be here with you today and talk a bit of UDesign. And, you know, as Kadir and Klaus said, with UPMX, we have been pioneers in bringing IT and business architecture to ServiceNow, merging enterprise architecture and operational IT on a very flexible and extensible platform. Now, we all know it doesn't make a lot of sense without diagramming and modeling. So in the second step, we decided, or we developed our designer application to close that gap. Now it's again time to take the next step and add the human touch to it, right? So imagine having an ideation workshop collaboratively. I mean, we at Inspire are pretty used to that, right? We have people working together from the US and then, you know, all across Europe, and, you know, we have people even traveling and working while traveling. So for us, collaboration is very important as well. So imagine having an ideation workshop collaborating in one single canvas, for example, designing your custom experience. And then linking that with architectures in UPMX, with operational data in ServiceNow, tracking the progress and actually see it coming to life. How cool is that? You know, I'm pretty excited to be part of the journey, to be honest. All of this will be possible in UDesign. So let me tell you how that will look like. We will have one UI to create the models, to create the reports, to edit data, to create data, commit, right, as you all know. And it's no more going back and forth from your modeling UI to your list views, to your form views, and, you know, all that stuff. We've been listening to our customers because that has always been a big pain point for them. As always, we'll be in close contact with all of you and to talk about your challenges and your goals and requirements. And one of them was, you know, tackling specific use case inside and outside of EA. So we decided to build an ecosystem around UDesign with extension packs that are use case specific, right? Let's have a look on the roadmap and the next steps. UDesign will be available to new customers in this quarter. We will rebrand UPMX to be part of the UDesign ecosystem in this quarter too. In the second quarter of this year, we'll release another major release of UDesign, which will include some of the advanced features that I know many of our customers are waiting for, including real-time collaboration on the ServiceNow platform, which is something that's very exciting. And as well in the second quarter of this year, we'll release our business process modeling add-on for UDesign. In the third quarter, we will start migrating our existing customers from Designer to UDesign. So your Inspire representative will reach out to you to scope and plan that migration. Our EAM extension pack in Q3 will allow for the first time to manage and govern actual architectures, layer, segment, and so on, architectures on the ServiceNow platform. With that said, with something new, something old needs to go. In 2026, we plan to sunset our designer application. And I think with that, back to you, Kalle.
Thanks very much, Freddie.